Hey everyone, it's Mopar Keith and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about my first car, or my first love of cars, and especially first love of Mopar cars. This is my 1971 Barracuda Gran Coupe. My first vehicle was actually a Jeep CJ5, and I traded it to buy this as it was sitting down the street from my house. And my dad said, don't you buy that car, because he didn't like the guys that owned it, and he thought they were nothing but trouble, and he knew darn well that that car was going to get me into trouble. So when I fixed up my Jeep and I was going to sell it, he was okay with that, but he did not want me to buy the car. And I sold the Jeep for $3,000 to another friend of mine in high school back in like 1986, 1987. And I went down the street and bought this 71 Gran Coupe from a couple guys, brothers, and it was $3,000. And so we're going to go through and tell you a little bit of the history on the car, and show you some old time pictures. And yeah, in lieu of Valentine's Day coming up, this is my first love for Mopars. So let's get into it and show you some pictures.
Alright, so here it is sitting at my parents'. This is where I grew up, sitting in the front yard. Check out them slot mags on the back. I borrowed those from the neighbor boys, the Chad and Craig Cermak. So had the engine all dolled up, and consequently blew that thing up. Well, didn't really blow it up. I had a rod knock, so rebuilt that. I don't know what possessed me to paint the engine block white, but also did the engine bay in black. So no garage, had to do everything outside. Here's the engine bay, black. Some modifications. So 3-speed wipers, but manual brakes, power steering. There it is, all dolled up. A lot of J.C. Whitney stuff. Brass radiator, all polished up. Just painted up, dolled up like 1980s style. And was pretty proud of the car. So Mr. Hall right there, he's our shop teacher. So got into auto mechanics and had to drive this car all winter long. Check out that Chevette up there. There's the interior, screwed a tach to the dash, Alpine radio, and had the triple gauges there. This thing, no garage. 72 front fenders. The grill was broken, and just being a high school kid, I didn't even know. I just knew that the side marker lights were different, but the paint job was so nice I didn't do anything about it. But there's that rocker molding for the Gran Coupe. Kids down the street, Chad and Craig Cermak. There's my car in the back. You can see the grill. They had a Valiant, and they were a car inspiration for me. They grew up around Dodge and Plymouth cars. There's Craig right there with the Valiant, and that was his daily driver to school. I believe that he's in his band uniform right there. So, and he also had a 68 Cornet. Here's the Cornet. I grew up around that car a bunch. That car consequently is in the shop right now for restoration. So my neighbor friends, Chad and Craig Cermak, there's the Valiant again. We all went to City High, and they had a slew of cars. Check out that wing on the back of that thing. So Chad owned a 68 Cornet hardtop. I think it was just a 318 car. Slot mags, of course. Check out that driveway. We worked on cars all the time. And Craig owned this 66 or 7 Cornet. And I'm not sure whose Challenger this is. Maybe it was a neighbor's car or something, but I know it was around. So yeah, the Cermaks were quite the inspiration to me, and we live just a block away from each other. So I learned a lot, and got into Mopars pretty heavy when I was in high school.
So going through the pictures and kind of reminiscing about the old car, I started thinking like, how rare is this car? And I've got a whole selection of Galen's books right here, the white books. And this car, 318 car, I had a 340 in it, but 318 automatic car, 71, so BP 23 G1B, 71 Hamtramck built car, uh, 1020. So 1020 of these things were made. So this car is completely rare. Such an idiot for selling it. But when you're a kid, I just wanted to race dirt bikes, and it was just time to sell a car. And once I got out of high school, you're in your late teens and 20s. Stuff gets kind of wild, and growing up, I just wanted to race dirt bikes, and I didn't know how rare the car was, so it got sold.
So here it is sitting in the front yard up at my parents' house on Highway 1, right there on the highway. And had a few people stop by and check it out, and it just would not sell. So I can't remember, I was probably selling it for $3,000 or $4,000. And who would have thought back in, like, it was 89 or 90, I was out of school and I just wanted to trade it for a dirt bike or something and a pickup truck. And really nice looking car, ran super strong, one of the fastest cars in Iowa City in that time, just would not sell. So I drove for a little while and street raced it until one day the flex plate actually came apart and the transmission exploded. And a guy named Cliff Simpson from Solon bought it for $1,000. And I think I bought beer and paid rent. And that was it for the Barracuda Gran Coupe.
So going through some of these old pictures, I start remembering all the cars that I had. And when I started Noel Automotive, I took some of that seed money and I bought a hoist and remodeled this office here. It's been remodeled a couple times since. And I wanted to restore my first car. Now my first Mopar, the 71 Gran Coupe, I did not restore. I bought it done and I just worked on it as needed. But my first restoration here at Noel Automotive was a 1969 Roadrunner. And I've got a lot of pictures of the restoration here at the shop when it first started. And we're going to do another video on the history of my first restoration.
So here it is. A friend of mine, Chad Federline from West Branch, had a pickup truck. I borrowed this trailer from my dad, and we went out to western Nebraska, right on the border there, and bought this from the Harms family. So in the world of Mopars, the Harms family, I don't know, they're sort of famous maybe, but this car was completely rust-free, 383 Roadrunner B5 Blue. Restored it, and that's kind of what started Noel Automotive. So it was my first real project. I built a rotisserie, and we're gonna get into another video about that car. So that was the start of my shop, and this car right here kicked it off. And here's some of the B bodies I had when I first started the shop, and it's a silver four-door 383 four-speed car and a 318 satellite, and then there in the background is the 69 Roadrunner. So that was maybe 1990, 99, 2000 area.
All right, so thanks for watching the history on my first love of Mopars. And please comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. And let me know what you'd like to see on my channel. Also, my website, noelautomotive.org, and we've got some frequently asked questions. It's all on my website, so check it out. Thanks again for watching, and we'll come up with another video next Thursday. Thank you.